Jenny, and let me just dunk that in for you. What's up, guys? Here it's the FSL, and you're joining us on the second to the very last day. And this is going to be the lower bracket and upper bracket finals that we're going to be seeing. And joining me today is going to be Quack. How you feeling today, buddy?
I mean, it's pretty good. It's going to be Oasis Gaming versus Wildfire Sphinx. Yesterday's games were, not going to lie, a little bit iffy at times, but you see how aggressive these girls are. You see how sharp they can be at times. Just not quite sure if that's going to stack up against maybe even more experienced team like Oasis Gaming. So map selection, this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an important one because, you know, with a lack of experience, maybe you're not going to be able to perform as well on certain maps, but we'll have to see. For now, we can say that for sure, starting out, it's going to be Icebox, and this is the map that I guess Oasis Gaming are quite familiar on. They've played it quite a number of times, actually. What's that? That's 14 times in total, according to the stat sheets, and that's definitely a reason why they picked it. Wildfire Sphinx, on the other hand, yesterday, I'm pretty sure was their only debut, so they actually won it, but will they actually be able to repeat that win?
These are maps that are definitely, I'd say, very difficult. Very difficult here for Wildfire Sphinx. Let's take taking a look at like how yesterday went. We're talking about the Oasis versus Galaxy Racer game. This was actually a 2-0 in 2-0, excuse me, in favor of Galaxy Racer. But that might be a little bit deceptive because one of those games went to overtime, and the other one was actually a close game, right? This just means one thing. First of all, that Oasis, you can actually go ahead and beat them, even on a map like Icebox, which is their pick. But however, it does mean that up against a very good team like Galaxy Racer, they have a very good, showing, which makes it all the more difficult for Wildfire Sphinx, especially this late in the tournament, especially when things are looking a little bit shaky right now. But the map picks for me, they look like they're going Oasis's way. I think Oasis are very capable of playing at all of these maps.
I have to agree. I mean, no disrespect or no hate towards. I mean, this is a Singaporean team. I'm Singaporean. I kind of have to root for them, but they really don't quite have the experience. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure how they're going to stack up against an experienced team like Oasis Gaming Aqua. I mean, even talking about how they matched up against Galaxy Racer, yeah, it went overtime, 14-12. That is very close. Unfortunately, they weren't able to beat them in overtime or even take a single round. But the fact that they pushed it that far says something. And if you take a look at their agent composition, it's actually rather, I don't know, consistent. Most of them stick to the same, I guess, role or agent, with the exception of maybe Anko trying something out with Yoru on Split. I don't know what was going on with that, but it's certainly fun to watch. But for now, on the other hand, we're going into agent select. Looking at what Wildfire Sphinx has, this was the exact same composition they played against Hashira yesterday. I think they might have something in store for us.
I think so. There's definitely a chance because, yesterday we were looking at Wildfire Sphinx, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised by how many good rounds and how strong the individual performances, they brought out was here. Really quite excited to see them, and I hope they're able to recreate that success. We do see them as a team where like two of the players on Wildfire Sphinx have just shifted over from obviously different titles and are relatively new to the FPS scene, but those two new players, namely Luna and Scherzinga, are actually doing quite well. There was a couple of clutches yesterday from Scherzinga, which were, I'd say, uncharacteristic of a player who is very new to FPS games. So this just gives me an indicator that they're making that transition quite successfully.
Definitely, for sure. I mean, I know the clutch that you're talking about. It was 1v2. She managed to land a headshot mid-gravity well suck. Sounds like a weird phrase to say, but it's not an easy task at all. I never know how to respond once I get stuck or trapped in a gravity well. I kind of just start to panic, but she actually found a headshot. Aside from that, though, you gotta think someone like Xerath, who has been lighting up the kill feed, leading the scoreboard. She's the MVP of her team. She has been playing very aggressively, using her blast packs to just rush onto site. This time, though, they are going to be starting on defense, Oasis Gaming on attack, and right now, taking things slow and steady is going to be OAG, and they are looking for picks on towards the A site.
The initial positioning here giving us an indicator that they will be committing a lurk here towards B. Should any pick be found. Luna's ready for it, though. They've found Anko. Will win the duel as she does give that crouch peek right there. So the moment that lurk comes into fruition, that's going to be the B hit right there. But they managed to trade it off in a 1-1. There is still as well a lurk coming around here towards mid. Pardon us, ladies and gents. Muffin gets that kill as we get the UI up. Still loading into the game and getting back into it, but it'll be there in a second. Don't you worry.
Still, though, it is a 3v3, and all those trades happening, Xerath is still down to about 40 HP, and that is kind of a disadvantage, even in the pistol round, but let's see how they play this out. Declaration definitely getting a lot of info, a lot of value out of that recon bolt. They managed to spot Canon Z out, they take her down, and all of a sudden it's a 2v3. Post plant is still not that easy to play in this position. She goes in to deny the defuse, however, and now she's going back in. She hears the footsteps, finds the second headshot, and then the triple to close this out. What a way to start things off. OAG showing that they're not a team to be messed with.
Yeah, really good positioning there on the post plant, aware of the possibility of the players coming in from B main, and using that angle to just swing out wide and get a double. So, convincing start here for Oasis on their map choice. That is to be expected after all, as we find ourselves on the first eco round of the game. Now, Quack, what are your odds here? Tell me how you're feeling about Wildfire Sphinx coming into this. I know we touched on them a little bit here, but for them to truly emerge out as the victors of this, what do they have to do?
They really have to start to get a good read on how OAS are playing for reals, because you see a pattern in this. Look at what Anko is doing. She did it on the first round. She did it last month. She's doing it again. She's always the one kind of separator for her team, kind of maybe a deep lurk in towards mid or B side, and once she doesn't get dealt with, she's gonna come into full effect right now, and she's picking up a Quadra already. Unstoppable with the Spectre, and this is what I'm talking about. If you are not fully aware of this, if you're not going to adapt to it, you're gonna get destroyed.
That's a very much case in point right there. If you don't somehow manage to curtail the momentum that Oasis bring to the table, especially when their individual players start popping off, it's just going to be a steamroll here. So hoping that we can see a little bit of I'd say aggressive plays on the defensive side for Wildfire Sphinx, just to make sure that it keeps the aggression of Oasis in check, because this is a team, Oasis is a team that will steamroll you and run over you if you don't keep their aggression up in check here. But they're gonna go towards that B site. There is only one player waiting for them. That's towards yellow here, and it's gonna be a great opening one here. Eventually traded out. Xerath will find that kill onto Anko, who did get that 4K in the previous round, but it's still a 4v4 retake, and without much positioning, it's going to be a tough one to call. Xerath does get tagged up, and not too much to worry about, as she will be falling back into safety here. Scherzinga is going to be finding a nice pick onto Super Poly right there. Utility will be deployed, and so will the wall. Will allow them to actually, it's not going to work at all, because the flank is coming to play, and they actually destroy, kill the spike diffuser. Instead, it's going to line them up with a double spray down.
Man, you could see what they had in mind, but unfortunately for WFX, no plan survives contact with the enemy. That's just very unfortunate. The wall is not enough to stop them in a post-plant situation. I mean, Oasis Gaming still had to be dealt with. The site wasn't clear, and unfortunately, they had the options. They had the firepower, even with Spectres just spraying past that poison orb that Luna deployed. They were able to stop this defuse in full. I mean, they couldn't even get it down. So, unfortunately for Wildfire Sphinx, that's the bonus round lost. Coming back into this, though, Xerath with a Marshal, actually able to find one headshot to start things off.
That's a good way to answer back in a round that they might not have the best odds at winning here.
What?
As this happens, though, couple of great shots here. Kiki will connect onto the dome of Muffin to bring us back here. Unfortunately, Sereth not going to be able to connect that one, as it does end up in a 2v3, allowing for the full rotation going towards that B side. Only 2 players standing here for the Wildfire Sphinx side, and it's going to be a little bit of a doozy as they do try to scramble for any kind of semblance of map control, but it's going to be towards B, and with only pistols, it doesn't look like I don't favor their odds at all in this round.
Definitely not. But if they are able to pick up these weapons, at least the Vandal that Xerath had, it could help them out somewhat. Still, though, Polly's going to be the first one to receive contact. She peeks and gets the information, backs off, delays as much as possible with the snake bite, but gets shut down thanks to Declaration's martial shot. Still, though, about maybe 20-ish seconds left on the spike, and they're still going in for this. Luna will be able to find a headshot, immediately gets traded. Clara's down to 14 HP right now, wants to clear in the site, but Cannon Z is already in towards the back, just positioning herself around green, knows how to play this perfectly. It's already a 4-0 start, Elu. I don't see Oasis Gaming slowing down at all.
I am very much just impressed by how well Wildfire Sphinx here is playing on these eco rounds. They're playing it so smart. And they're also hitting their shots. The marshals coming into full effect, doing work from long range, and at the same time they're finding kills with ghosts, which is not easy to do on a map like Icebox, and especially not against a team like Oasis Gaming Aqua. Regardless, it's still a 0-4 scoreline. So what's really going to matter is how Wildfire is able to get into the site here, but hold on to the site, excuse me, as Muffin is looking to entry and create the space for her team. They're able to do it thus far. Spike still hasn't gone down. They're waiting for the right time to be able to do that, as Znonak nearly evades death here. And it's going to be Anko to find a double kill onto that side, still leaving us to a 3v4. Just get out of dodge. How does she find one more? Anko is just weaving, bobbing and weaving right now across everybody, dodging all the bullets. And that res will more or less confirm the round for us.
Still, though, it's Kiki in a 1v4. I don't want to count her out because 2 of the Oasis Gaming players are really low. As soon as I say that, she immediately gets tagged. And of course, Anko picking up. I think this is the second quadra that she's gotten all game.
It is. I mean, that's something you have to worry about if you're a Wildfire, right? You don't want Anko just heating up like this. And
what on earth?
If it starts to get a little bit out of control like it already is, then, you know, Wildfire is sweating. They are playing well, but they just can't, I'd say, get over that finish line and close out the rounds here. Even though they are getting the initial picks, even though they are winning a lot of the engagements, they haven't really found the formula to find a round here up against Oasis just yet.
I have to agree with you, Ilu. Even the way that Oasis are approaching right now, it's kind of scary for Wildfire Sphinx, but this nice little positioning from Kiki is going to net her the kill onto Anko. This is the adaptation I'm talking about, because they know that Anko is the one going on these deep flanks, these deep lurks. They're able to take one out, but then Muffin comes in, immediately destroys Luna. Kiki going to have something to say about this, though. Gets one more, absorbs as well, the triple right now. She's looking to hunt them down. She spots out another Sage right behind Yellow. Backs off, waits for a team, and this push could do it. Could this be the first round that they win? I might have spoken too early because Xerath's going to be the first to fall right now. Kiki with a quadra, and then you got Polly just playing it post-plant. The first snake bite to drop.
Oh,
she has a second one as well, but they're just sticking the defuse. They get the round win anyway. And then the ace! Kiki! Just going on a tear.
Yeah, the rain is popping off in this one. Anko and Kiki, they're just going at it. Tooth and nail, 5-1. And it takes an ace, well, a quadra and then an ace for Wildfire to win the round. But regardless, still, it's one of those kinds of performances, one of those kinds of rounds that really bolster the confidence of your team here. If Wildfire isn't inspired by that amazing play, then nothing will. They should be coming in this with renewed confidence, renewed momentum, and inertia. just to be able to sneak away a couple more rounds here up against Oasis Gaming Aqua. And it's very likely that they can end this. If they can actually get a couple more rounds in here, at least end up with a decent halftime score, they have a fairly good chance of stealing away the map select of Oasis Gaming Aqua.
For sure, you gotta keep that confidence up and look at the mini-map right now. They're reading the situation perfectly. Already onto site, everyone's stacked up. You even have Kiki coming in with a flank. I'm not sure if Oasis Gaming are prepared for this, but they still want to commit onto the site right now, trying to push into it. Xerath is gonna spot one out, but unable to spray them down. Luna comes in and gets a quick double, but gets traded right now. Pauly coming in huge. They're looking to secure the site, and they should be able to get the spike plant pretty soon, but they're looking for Kiki. They know she's somewhere around this place.
Spike planted.
That just might do it. She gets one. Now using the dismiss to reposition herself. She's looking for Muffin. Can't quite find her though, and all of these sounds still undetected. Muffin is circling around back, and then she gets the headshot. Oh no. Kiki with the deep flank, unable to bring it to fruition.
Just a little, I think, of some opportunities slipping away right here for the Wildfire side. Could have been a couple more kills going in there. I do have to point out, man, Xerath is missing a couple of those shots that she should be hitting. Because you look at the lineup of Wildfire, and you look at one, and Xerath is one of those players who you think, damn, she is really one of the core members of this team, one of the cruxes, one of the foundations. But she's seemingly missing a lot of the shots which she should be hitting. I don't know if it's nerves or whether she's busy shot calling while this is happening, but this is, I'd say, concerning to say the least. Everybody else, however, doing pretty nicely. Kiki with a great 7 kills just thus far, and even the newbies, Luna and Declaration, they've got a couple of really good holds and a couple of really good kills under their belt this early on.
Yeah, it certainly is a little bit odd, but I think it could be just the fact that they're playing against a completely different team, different play style than what they're expecting. Xerath, yesterday on Icebox, she had a incredible performance, 30 kills, 14 deaths, 3 assists. That is huge, but right now, 5-7-2, it's maybe she's just warming up, but you still gotta take into, I guess, account that Oasis Gaming, they're not the same team. They're not Hashira. They're a lot more careful about how they approach these sites. I mean, the times that they actually rush on towards A, yeah, it kind of bites them in the back, but they're still able to play post-plant. And right now, look at how carefully they're approaching the A site. They're not just rushing in blindly. Yes, they're getting stopped by a wall, but they are looking for these picks before they fully commit. They're starting to swarm in right now, and I think they've spotted out Sherzinga, but then the shorty with the off angle, she deletes Anko off the squad.
These shorties can be lethal if they don't get checked out here. Nice attempt yet again. Shorty up close, that's a perfect way to run it, but unfortunately just unable to find the second kill. They do have Kiki and Xerath to make things a little bit more interesting, and though with a ghost, Kiki, the last one left standing in a 1v3, they know where she is as well, and have 3 people looking down there. She somehow stills that. What? Oh, how does she still win that duel? Pauly makes things a little bit, brings things back to normalcy, a little bit more sensibility in this round, but that was almost very scary for Oasis Gaming Aqua.
I know, right? The dink and then the finishing tags. Kiki is made of wonders, but you're starting to see this happen. I mean, Oasis Gaming, they're approaching this pretty carefully. Once they have the numbers advantage, that's where they'll look to abuse and exploit that. They start to swarm you, and of course, double peaks, double swings. You're not going to be able to do much in a 1vx situation. Even if you're someone like Kiki, it's not that easy to pull this off. But right now, Oasis Gaming, they're switching, they're changing things up. Instead of going to A, they're heading to B.
They've got quite a bit of map control already. Nobody really to contest them just yet. As Wildfire, they're going to have to play full retake. However, Xerath lands a ripper of a shot all the way towards the back of sight right there. From up on above. Still have 4 to deal with. The rotation will come in. But look at how far Kiki's actually snuck up. This should be massive. She could at least get 2. Was able to dismiss away But she needs to find a little bit more than that, and she does. She goes huge, absolutely massive from Kiki. The advanced positioning, able to shut down Oasis Gaming Aqua completely.
What?
The long-range spray to finish it off as well. Style points right now from Kiki as she proves to everybody at this point that she is here to play, and she's gonna dominate the server if you let her.
I mean, Kiki, do you love me? Oh yeah, she loves you. She loves you,
Oh,
Oasis
yeah.
Gaming, so much that she's gonna send us so many
She
bullets
loves
your
you
way.
to death.
That is incredible. Look at that. Okay, just waiting for this full replay to play out. The way that she plays off of her Lear, and then the long range spray. That is, a Vandal is not an easy weapon to control
Not
the
at
recoil,
all.
especially at that range. Somebody clip that, please.
I think we have it. We did get a replay of it, and so somebody must have it in their bank somewhere. And well, deservedly so. This is, oh my god, Muffin finding a beautiful double right there just to deny the momentum that Wildfire Sphinx may have just found, and suddenly it all falls to the wayside. Now, Seraph is here to chime in. She's able to take it back to a 2v4, but still the HP is quite low, and honestly, they're not in a good spot here. Nice nade. That actually brings down the HP of two members real low, real low here. And it's very possible that this retake can't happen. Luna's got information onto two. And however, how can she make this happen? Oh, Muffin just gonna sneak up, finding the timing. That's gonna be the round.
Yeah, I mean, 1v4 for Luna, and she just has so much to deal with, so many possible angles, and on top of that, the Viper's pit just covering everything up. She was not aware that Muffin was coming from the back, but you gotta mention that Oasis Gaming, the way that he even started this round off, the opening picks from Muffin, and then the rest of the squad to follow up through on that, is just aggressive. It's incredibly strong, and something that they just pulled out from underneath their, I don't know, something out of the magic hat. Wildfire Sphinx, they don't look so prepared for this, and we're coming towards the end of the first half right now. It's round number 11, and they're going back towards the B site. Toxic Screen might be the thing to signal that push, so they're starting to rotate right now, but all these members from OAS are already on the site, and they're getting the spike planted.
And Echo somehow managing to line up a double, a triple, almost the quadra. But Cherizinga is able to find her, still a 1v4. And she does have res available. Might elect to use it, swings out, but it's going to be two players on the receiving end of it to welcome her into the afterlife. It's 9-2 right now. One more round that stands in between us and the second half. Oasis Gaming Aqua have made a dominant performance thus far, and if you look at the numbers, it's all about the Reynas. 13 kills on Kiki, 13 kills on Anko. Everybody else, they're just following that train.
It's a lovely train, but the one that seems a little bit stronger, you're seeing it on your screen, 13, 12, 11. It's on the side of OAS, and it's something that you definitely need if you're a WFX right now. 2-9. If this becomes a 10-2 for the teams, it's just not good for WFX. But look at Anko's movement, so aggressive, using the zip line. She jumps onto rafters, beehives her way away as well, and now she's going back into screens. Gets taken out, however. The rest of the squad now, they're just looking for the kills. They get the spike down. Hopefully a brief moment of respite, but then Xerath pops her showstopper, gets shut down as well. Muffin to clean things off with a triple. This is the thing that I feared worst. I mean, 10-2 and all of these, I don't know, tiny mistakes coming from WFX. It's not coordinated.
Look, for me, it's really all about the little details, because when you get to a professional level, the higher and higher up the echelons you go, the less and less of, I'd say, leeway you have to make those small mistakes like you mentioned. I'd say you know, in higher levels of Valorant gameplay, it's really all about who makes the least mistakes, you know. More so than who hits the most amazing headshots. It's really about who can make the right reads and who can force the other team to make the errors. And right now, Oasis Gaming Aqua is forcing Wildfire Sphinx to make all the errors on their part here.
God.
Good swing out right there from the top of Belt. They're going to find one kill, and this does still favor the attacking side. Now, Anko repositioning is going to be checked out by Kiki. So, well-placed shot. Able to get them into a little bit of a lead right now as they work their way onto that A side. Kiki and I think oh, they're gonna be low on HP, yeah, but Zonak gonna find Declaration, and they're gonna clean things up from the back here. So the pinch onto site is yet again gonna be effective. Oasis Gaming Aqua will rock the heavens once again.
Man, things are just getting shaken. 11-2 right now, and that incredible play from Kiki earlier on. I mean, don't get me wrong, these girls are just still sharp, but you can see that their confidence is not as high as it used to be. Right now, even on the attack, we talked about the tiny mistakes. You really do have to pay attention to detail. If you're gonna be just, you know, peeking aggressively, not checking, not jiggle peeking even, sometimes you're gonna get punished by someone who's hiding right underneath a nest. It's definitely something that you gotta be careful about. Wildfire Sphinx, I don't think the 5-man rushes onto site that they did yesterday against Hashira are gonna work this time. And right now, Anko just doing the same thing, gets one, does get traded though, so that might be slightly better. It still is a force buy from WFX though, and they're not looking to stop anytime soon.
Little bit of aggression was quite heavy-handed there, as Anko getting maybe a little bit ahead of herself. But they're going to be matched with that aggression, as Kiki looks to double down on it. But Scherzinger caught looking the wrong way for now, as Sarah is able to mow down Super Poly, but the guns working in the favor of Oasis. Declaration to bring it back, and in this 1v1, she's managed to take a round just when they've needed it the most. Wildfire Sphinx here have kept it alive for now.
For now, one more round. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's pretty nice and definitely well played by Clara, just showing that, you know, she's not one of those players who are that new to FPS. In fact, she's one of the players who have played FPSs before, and the way that she maneuvers around these corners, the way that she handles her Spectre, you're starting to see that they have what it takes. These girls know what they're doing, and Oasis Gaming, when they get overconfident, when you got someone like Anko just getting a little bit greedy at times, they can get punished as well. And this is one of those mistakes that you can make, and it can cost you as well. Right now, though, I'm not sure what I'm seeing on the mini-map, Elud. Are you seeing this? Because what's going on? Why are there 5 players towards B and then 5 players on A?
They know that they can, you know, afford to lose a round, and so they're going to make a gamble here. They're going to try to go towards A. The read's going to be completely wrong, however, as Wildfire, they're going to head on over to A. And what I like about this sort of full send formation that Wildfire is giving us is that this sort of bridges that gap between experience, because in full executes, you don't really have the experience of Oasis to contend with. It's really just going down to how clean you can execute and whether you can hit your shot. So that slow, steady play style might not work against Oasis. And so with this change of pace, with this change of tempo, it might really do well on their attack.
I certainly hope so, because here comes the retake. They're looking to rush onto site, but Kiki is mowing them down with her fully automatic Vandal. Xerath plus Declaration to clean things up as well, and I think a Snakebite or Poison Orb kill from Luna. It's Wildfire Sphinx, and they're waking up into this server.
That is one of those rounds that's going to give you that boost that you need, having those clean anti-eco rounds, a good read, and even better shots. So having those under your belt very early on in the half is going to allow them to, the confidence to start off strong and to maybe take more confident peaks as the, you know, as the attacking side, which is definitely something you need going up against a team like Oasis. Now, they're going to yet again change their plans here. They're going to try mid. They're going to have Stan on the other side of it. They're going to spot one, however, as the Owl Drone does come through. This is spreading out the defense of Oasis Gaming Aqua. They've actually managed to... They only have one person on each side here, but it actually just might be enough because the rotation is 3 people towards mid.
Kinda nice. Still, though, Oasis, they're looking a little bit aggressive right now. A lot of footsteps around mid, and I'm pretty sure WFX are fully aware of this. In fact, they want to contest this. They want the aim duels, but they lose it out in full effect. Anko actually able to take the Star Fragger down for now. It's a 4v5 situation, and if you're WFX, you gotta make a quick adaptation. You gotta make a quick move towards one of the sites, because this is not deathmatch. So now they're looking to think about heading towards the B site, but Paulie has been hiding in this position for the longest time, and with all of this information, I think it's a little bit too late. Look at their crosshairs position. It's going to be a headshot. It's gonna be a third kill for Kenan Z, and then Paulie to clean things off with the next one. It's a flawless victory, and right now, match point, 12-4 Elu.
Very much an example of why Wildfire shouldn't be going for, I think, that, that passive style, that passive play here. The whole point of those defaults is to really force an error out of the defensive side, a defensive side. But Oasis, they're not really a team that will make a lot of mistakes, and even when they do, they know how to recover from them. So I like that. I like the idea to force them out towards mid first, but I think right after they should have went straight on towards the site here. Now they're just gonna go for that full send onto A, especially after seeing nobody towards B and mid. It's a good shot to open up the round here from Stan. As Stan gets a double, and Sereth will get one. So it's still a 3v4.
What?
Beautiful stuff right here from Sereth as she gets a 3K right now. Still a 2v2. The res does come through. And Muffin from the close angle will take a showstopper to the face. It's the game of aces for now. As Sereth could be in prime position for this. Here's the step. He's looking the right way. Has another paint shell. But it's not going to be enough to find a kill just yet. So this is for all the marbles. This is for the game right now. If Super Paulie can clutch this, it's going to be a 13-point victory. 13-4 scoreline. When she gets closer and closer, catches Declaration off guard, looking the wrong way. And pulls out the snake bite, expecting the close swing. And almost gets the timing right. It's Sereth who prevails and gets that ace in the end. Keeping that lifeline here for Wildfire Sphinx. They're not done for now.
It's only the first game of the day. How many aces have we seen already?
2.
Oh my god.
2 aces and like what? 3 quadras?
3 quadras, a couple of clutches, and a lot of aggressive plays from so many of these players. Zareth, maybe she was warming up earlier on, but right now, waking up in the scoreboard, she's 16-14. It's not too bad, not too shabby at all. She keeps her team alive for one more round, but you gotta keep it going. It's match point, and that means you need 7 rounds in a row right now just to even things out. And this is where you start to feel the pressure. I mean, WFX, this is why I think they're maybe playing a little bit more passive, because, like you said, for all the marbles, they want to be careful about it, but at the same time, that could be the thing that costs them a lot of moving parts on the map right now, as you're seeing Oasis Gaming rotate around. In fact, pushing in towards B Garage. As soon as they get that bit of information, they're gonna know it's an A hit. And in fact, they might actually be able to pull off a big flank. Look at what Paulie is doing.
They actually don't get a tag right now, and the flank is going to be so immediate, so quick. Muffin, beautiful shot onto Kiki. Pulls out the Blade Storm, finding another. That's 2 for Muffin.
What?
Gets that kill. Hunter's Fury to support, and that finds Scherzinga now still in this 2v4. Muffin has the blades out, gets up close, looking for 3, looking for 4. Can she find the final blow onto them? No, it's going to be Paulie who does it, but regardless, a 13-5 scoreline. Oasis Gaming Aqua have done it yet again.
Man, this team, I mean, when they were playing on day 1 against their Thai counterparts, Arcata Resta, they pulled off a 2-0, and right now, they don't seem to be slowing down at all. I mean, this might be the lower brackets, but that is 13-5 against Wildfire Sphinx, and they're showing us they are fully capable of taking this all the way. I mean, I think on the leaderboards, they might be, about 4th, just maybe a little bit below Renatus White, but they're pretty good as well. I mean, they have strategies. They have incredibly aggressive plays as well. Muffin, Anko, sometimes even Paulie, who tends to play controllers. This team knows what they're doing.
I agree. I think, for me, honestly, the Wildfire, they had such a good performance on that. That could have been a lot closer than it actually was. A lot of those rounds came down to basically an inch and a hair. Uh, they came down to clutch situations. If I can count it, I think it could have been, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 rounds actually that they could have gotten that just didn't end up going their way. So this is a very good sign for Wildfire going forward as a team. If they can clean up those like tiny errors that you mentioned earlier in the game, if they can find those weaknesses in their play style and the holes in their defense, this is going to be a very strong team.
100%. I cannot agree with you more. I mean, I just want to see what they have for us, possibly, probably in FSL overtime next week, because, I mean, they've been playing in so many of these opens for the group stages, and they're making their way in. When you review these VODs, and hopefully they really do that as a team, because you can see that, I mean, they have a lot of these mechanics just nailed down, the fundamentals of how to play Valorant. In fact, the movement that they've got as well, it's pretty sharp. They've got those aces, they've got those clutches. And I mean, speaking of clutches, I just remember they actually had I think Kiki was the one who pulled off a clutch against Alter Ego Celeste. It only
Yeah.
comes down to things like, teamwork, a little bit of maybe coordination, maybe some strats or executes that they could pull off together, and then they could start winning those rounds together as a team.
Yeah, a lot of room for improvement, but they definitely are getting there. We have to take a short break, however, guys, because we're going to go to game number 2 in just a second. So once more is right now Oasis Gaming Aqua with the lead in a 1-0. We'll see if they can come back on the Wildfire side when we return from this. Don't go anywhere. VCT Game Changers will return.
We'd like to thank Intel for believing in us and supporting women in the gaming community. The new core and graphics architectures of the 11th gen Intel Core processors elevate laptop and desktop gaming performance for all types of gamers, from the overclockable key processor line for desktops to the U processor line with integrated graphics. Intel has a product for the hardcore PC gamer and streamer, as well as the gamer on the go.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It's the Valorant Game Changers, and you're with me, Illustrato. Alongside me, it's Wang. No, I'm just kidding. It's Quack. We talked about this last night. From now on, forever, and ad infinitum, it's going to be Wang.
Ad infinitum.
How do you feel about that?
On top of that, though, I mean, yeah, I feel pretty good about that name. I love it. I love when you make that sound. But I got a question for you. Is it Illustrato with one L or two L's?
It's one L. Look, so the story is, Ilustrado is actually a word that means something in Filipino.
Ooh.
And for the very longest of times, I would actually spell it wrong myself with two L's. So I totally understand when people spell my name wrong, because I spelled it wrong for the very longest time. But apparently, it only has one L.
Only has one L. What does it actually mean now that you speak of it?
So, yeah, it means kind of like back in the days of, the colonization era. And Ilustrado was one of the people who would study abroad and become a nerd and come back to the Philippines. And, it's like a kind of person that would go and study abroad, and then they would be like the educated class or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are one of those.
A nerd. Yeah,
we're all nerds.
I'm basically the nerd. Yeah, this is what we do for a living. Talking about video games. So it is what it is. So going now to game number 2 here, we do have a little bit to cover. Quack. We do have I'd say a great performance from Wildfire Sphinx here from the first game. They did pretty decently, getting a 13-5 as we pull up the sheets for you guys. Anko with a great performance. Actually, both of the not the Raises, both the Reynas just going on a tear on both of the games. But I think it really came down to the end, mid-round and late rounds, where they just came to, I'd say, close situations. And in most of those, Oasis would come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, Oasis, I said it before, and you definitely see it in the games. When they approach sites, when they defend sites, they have strategies in place. I mean, sometimes it's a bit of a gamble, and sometimes that doesn't really pay off. On ecos, they like to stack up on a site, maybe do something cheeky with that. But when they work together as a team, and they are more often than not able to take the wins over other teams. And against Wildfire Sphinx, relatively newer, kind of a wild card. If they don't have that coordination to match Oasis Gaming, that's why you see these rounds getting taken away. Not to discount them though. You see a lot of action all across these rounds, all across these games, because they have that individual performance. They have that firepower and star power to be able to pull off those aces, those clutches that we see so much. I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about the agent composition, but I just couldn't quite find that one moment to talk about it. Polly, she tends to play Omen. This time she was on Viper. Not sure if she'll carry that over onto the next map, but
I don't think so. I mean, the reason why you want to pick Viper on bigger maps like Ascent is because of the wide berth of coverage that it does give you. And Viper is mostly a meta pick nowadays. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day. Back, when I was starting, back when I started Valorant and, all the way in beta, I'm like, who would ever pick this Viper? Like, this is an awful agent. And I rated her as like the worst consistently season act after act. And then suddenly now she's like probably the best agent for those big maps like Icebox and Breeze.
Oh yeah, it's all because of that sweet decay, and of course Tanya loves her Viper as well. I'm sure you'll get to talk to her about that so much later on. But yeah, it definitely is starting to become one of those really meta picks. Omen starting to fall off a little bit on Ascent. Yeah, it's kind of a question mark for me as well. But aside from Oasis Gaming's Asian composition, I really want to think about what Wildfire Sphinx has in store for us because this isn't exactly something that they're too comfortable on. I think Oasis Gaming, they are probably a little bit better on Ascent than them. So coming down to Age of Composition, coming down to the strats, the executes that they have, in fact, how do you think they're going to play? I mean, Kiki, probably Reyna, Zareth on arrays, not too sure, might switch things up. But Scherzinga, she usually plays a controller. Sometimes on certain maps, she'll swap on over to the Sentinel role. Sage, she did that on Icebox yesterday as well. Is it going to be different this time?
I think they're gonna stick to their guns here. It did really work out for them. I was actually fairly surprised at how well Scherzinger played the Sage in that previous game. It's not an easy thing to do, especially in a big map like Icebox, because a lot of what happens is Sage is very much an agent where you have a lot of decision making. That where you place that one wall is going to be absolutely crucial. A lot of times, you'll see it. Teams will just go for that straight up wall towards kitchen, which I feel ultimately isn't that good of a wall. Honestly, so many other places you could do it. I like seeing the grim walls. I like seeing the aggressive wall towards. I'd say 410. Even the aggressive wall that you go ahead and push towards a belt. There's so many ways that you can use that, and so I'd say as over time, we start to see how much more you can do. All these things you can do with the walls, and hopefully Scherzinger is able to pick that up alongside the rest of her team. Now, with Oasis on the other side, though, a lot of it came down to individual plays. I mean, Muffin, just a lot of ridiculous shots with we saw it at the end, the Blade Storms, man. And Anko really just tearing things up. It's hard to put it into words, Quack, but what they just did is they just steamrolled.
Yeah, that's that one word. I mean, a little bit tough to put into even more words, but steamroll definitely is a way to go about that. I mean, you see how crazy and aggressive they can be. Muffin with the updrafts, just hovering all over the place. And Anko, I mean, sometimes she's on those deep flanks or lurks, but some other times she's just running in towards the other team, trying to maybe get behind enemy lines through the front, which is absolutely insane, by the way. Sometimes her movement actually kind of reminds me a little bit of what Asuna has from the 100 Thieves, but maybe some of the decision making in those microseconds, not quite there yet. Still, they are able to take the win regardless. On to the next map. It's Ascent. It's Wildfire's map pick. It's not going to be an easy one for either side, but I am not too sure who I want to root for right now because Asian composition wise, you're seeing it. I see an Astra, and it's going to be spicy.
Look, honestly, for this one, I'm rooting for Wildfire. I want to see them play well on their map pick. I want to see that they have worked out those tiny kinks because, like, for instance, on Icebox, one of the reasons that you are making those tiny mistakes that lead to your defeat is because you're not 100% comfortable on that map, right? And so I'm hoping that here on Ascent we'll have a little bit of a better game. Wildfire, they've played a couple of good Ascent games. They took a win up against Hashira yesterday, very convincingly so. And hopefully up against Oasis, they're able to show everybody why they are a team to be feared and at the same time respected. So here we go. For those of you who are just joining us, this is game number 2. And Wildfire Sphinx is on 0-1 right now up against Oasis Gaming Aqua, following a defeat on Icebox. Now we're finding ourselves on the pistol, and Quack, it's looking like another slow and steady approach yet again.
Yeah, this time just trying to get a sense or a feeling of who might be around the B site. If you're quiet, you can hear that turret just stuttering, jittering around, and that's probably what they sensed onto B. So rotations coming in now. Cher gonna pop the dark cover in towards Market, as they slowly make their way up on Catwalk. Anko be the first to receive. She gets taken out by Kiki, and then the overheal comes in as well. They pretty much have their advantage on towards the A site right now. Question is, will they be able to make it in time to get the spike down, and will the retakes come in on time from Oasis?
Looks like the spike will be able to get dropped here. Oh my god, that paint shield is doing work. So much damage. Muffin from up above.
Spike planted.
Will not get spotted out for now, but we'll be able to swing, take down Kiki with that beautiful click down. Now, still 4v4. We're going to entry onto the site. Sarah is good for a double here. And that's going to be Cannon Z with a beautiful double as well. Sereth all alone. 1v2. Not the right play at the moment. Still, it's a good effort. 1-0 as Wildfire, they do get the kill. They do get the kill, so they do get the plant, but the round still falls to Oasis.
Very lovely retake. I mean, it might have been down to a 4v5, but the way that they approached it, you know, I think it was Muffin just kind of lurking around that dark cover and then peeking out of it at the right time, finding the first headshot, and then just going on along with her team. Canon Z as well, approaching the fight from door, is actually able to pick them apart, pick apart the Wildfire Sphinx defense. So it's something that you love to see. Xerath, interesting way to play out that 1v2. If it were a 1v1, might have worked actually with the blast pack, but unfortunately it's not meant to be right now. So second round, and this is something that Wildfire Sphinx loves to do. They almost always, after losing pistol, they force buy. And it actually works. Xerath able to open up the site with her Spectre down to 50 HP though. Gonna get tagged up by the paint shells. Yeah, I think this is where you kind of have to slow things down.
Yeah, look, after that good pick, I think they should have maybe rotated off or played a little bit more cautiously here. Fortunately, Stan. Oh my god, the turret takes her down.
What?
Declaration? Muffin with the no-scope right there. Follow up onto Luna. That's going to be 4 kills. Looking for the ace, and Declaration's gone massive with the Sheriff here. Footsteps will be heard. Muffin looking to swing wide, and it's Muffin with the ace. Just on when you think things could have not gone any worse for Oasis. Muffin's right there to bring things back and take us to a 2-0. Wildfire Sphinx so close yet again, and they keep coming this close, Quack. But some of these rounds, they just can't close out.
What on earth did we just witness, Illustrato?
That was actually a lucky shot, I think, because the crosshair was nowhere near.
No scope. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
This is awesome.
No, it was probably just the slow mo that didn't have the crosshair on, but yeah.
Well, you gotta consider, damage was done to the side of Oasis Gaming. That's why they aren't able to purchase the rifles right now, and despite having won that round, still with the Spectres though, but having lost the force buy, WFX gonna have to eco, and Xerath on a Marshall right now is fairly interesting. You gotta think about it though. Muffin does have her showstopper, and Uncle right now shutting Xerath down is actually able to even up the odds. I mean, this is just so much better right now because they are on defense after all. They're gonna go in for it though. Wildfire Sphinx thinking about the B hit, but a lot of utility being spent to slow things down, and that's just a bit of a mistake. Come on, somebody had to have shot down that boombot.
Okay, now they're just feeling it. Declaration's been so good on the Sheriff. Finds another one, and Zingo with the classic. All right, things interesting right now. Does a little bit of damage. Cannon Z actually drops to 40. But very end of it, it's Oasis with a 3-round lead. I honestly really like the force buy. I really like the force buy. And it came down to the wire. But like I said, it was those small misplays. The heads, the decision making as to whether to go in after that first kill or should they have rotated. It's one of those things that as they develop as a team, they're going to be able to hone in on that and get that shot calling down pat.
It's certainly a little bit of a gamble, but in the long run you can actually shatter a team's economy, because right now look at what Oasis Gaming have, not that much. So with the full buys this time around from WFX, they should be walking away with a win, but let's see how they approach this. A little bit of maybe a default. Kiki approaching in towards market. I'm not sure where this is going, but I kind of like it. She's going to get spotted out by the alarm bot, though. Holds on back for a second, takes stand down, and just like that, they might just have opened up the B side. Cannon Z, though, the bastion of the site, looking to stop them from pushing in. And if you think about it, the spike is all the way at the top mid. It's another mistake that Wildfire Sphinx has been making a little bit here and there. It happened yesterday, and now we go into this. Cannon Z going with a little bit of a run and gun, spectering away. She's going to make it away with basically full health, though. And all this information being retrieved, the rotates are starting to come in on towards the B site.
But yet again, they can't find the decision as to what to do or where to go. Low HP onto Seraph as well, so it's very heartbreaking. They can't. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, in quite a couple of rounds here. And Oasis, they're happy to punish any mistakes that are coming their way. That smoke is towards mid, and they know that that's for a rotation towards A. So they're gonna travel 2 of their members all the way to that A site. The door will be broken off with 10 seconds left. Anko's able to get the shot off onto 1. 4 seconds left. They have to commit onto the spike plant here. And Anko with a triple. Anko should be coming in with the 4th. Nope, gonna be Muffin this time as Oasis find a 4th on the board. And honestly, Quack, I really think it's them overthinking that's really biting them in the back right now. For Wildfire.
Yeah, I hear that sigh, and I feel the exact same way, Elu. It's just really unfortunate. I mean, this is a team you really want to believe in so much because they're able to pull off a lot of crazy, incredible plays. I mean, Clara was popping off the Sheriff earlier on, and they actually were able to break the economy of Oasis, but coming down to it, when they had the full buys, they just weren't able to bring it into full effect. It's 0-4 right now, and this could spiral out of control. They're going into the round with Spectres, Sheriffs again, and we're just gonna have to wait because Oasis Gaming, they are looking to pull off some plays here. Anko already pushing up. You see the nebulas, the stars around her as well. And that's just a nice little escape plan. Regardless, she's pushing up in towards Gelato. It's going to be a bit of a trade. A Sheriff drops dead. Muffin now is able to secure the spike. Paint shells raining from above, and then the headshot to take Xerath out. If you're WFX, if you're Luna, it just feels very hopeless.
They know where she is too. They're spamming her out. Oh, it's going to be Cannon Z to find her. It's very much not an ideal situation here for Wildfire Sphinx. They are being read, and like I said, they have to find a way to keep the aggression of Oasis truly in check here, because Ascent is one of those maps where it really lends itself to the aggressiveness of the defensive side when it comes down to it. So Wildfire, they're not making the right calls as to how to deal with that aggression. They tried to play that defensive side, but they're getting snuffed out and they're getting picked off. And so the right call here would be to change up the pace. I like this idea. They're going for an A hit. They do have 5 ultimates, for the love of God. 5 ultimates. There's 4 on the other side, sure, but they'll be happy to take it right now. That's going to be the showstopper in. Nobody on the receiving end right now at the very least. Not even the lockdown to be deployed, but Scherzinger is going to get a good kill onto Super Poly. The spike will go down. Lockdowns have not been deployed just yet, and neither will the Hunter's Fury. And I think they're going to just use it to secure position here. Good pick to find. It's going to be a trade 1-for-1. Muffin looking to get that one. The Hunter's Fury will destroy the lockdown, but it's still a 2v3. Scherzinger pretty far removed from the action right now, and she's going to have to go into a 1v1. The paint shell, it's going to come in right now. It's going to stop. Oh my god, she halved it. She's already halved it, so Scherzinger has to come up huge. And a triple kill for Scherzinger, bringing it back for Wildfire Sphinx. They stay alive 1-5. And yet again, she's come up with a clutch, man.
It's another clutch. It was very scary. I was watching that with bated breath, but thankfully she was there to save the day. Just knowing where the spike was positioned, just knowing where and how to peek that. You might think, yeah, she's one of those players, Valorant's her first FPS, whatever. She knows how to play this game, and 1-5, she's coming back into this.
There are just people who learn games really quickly. I think Scherzinger is one of those people.
True.
And it's not fair. It's just not fair. How dare you be so good at this?
Oh my god, yeah. Players like us, we got a practice range for hours on end just to get good.
Yeah.
All
Meanwhile,
right.
she's pulling triple kill clutches after transitioning. Isn't that nice? But look at this. Again, the aggression here from Oasis. Really something that makes their team a sterling example of
man.
good team play. And they've taken mid defiantly, dominantly. This is left Wildfire completely rocked on this round. Declaration. It's a good pick onto Anko, though, but there's still a lot to find. The Owl drone comes out. They make a lot of noise here. A lot of footsteps, and Scherzinger sees the elbow. It's enough. It's enough to find a kill. Might not expect another one up close here because Stan is right around the corner. Not able to get it. Pulls out the gun. That definitely catches them off guard as it's Stan who does find 2. And Oasis will get the reset onto Wildfire.
Absolutely catching them off guard. It's you talked about it earlier on. It was lovely to see. I mean, they were sitting on those ultimates for the longest time, and then they went in with a full 5-woman rush on towards the A site. But this time, Oasis Gaming were the ones to switch up the pace. They pushed in towards mid to kind of catch Wildfire's Sphinx in towards B lobby as well. And the thing is, they do it as a team. I mean, on defense, if you're sending someone to push, it can be risky. But when you got someone like Polly watching your back, you got someone as sharp as Anko, it's going to work out. And right now, they're kind of trying to pull off something as well. We saw this yesterday. I think some other teams did it. Nebula on towards a main, and then you have someone lurk in towards wine. It's super effective, but you know what? The main thing is Wildfire Sphinx just doesn't have the firepower to deal with this right now. As sharp as they might be, it's still not enough. Look at all these bullets raining all over the place. They have no choice but to be pushed back in towards attacker spawn. Clara able to find one though. Anko really low right now. She's spraying, allowing for Cannons to push up, and then she picks up the double spray. 1-7 and Oasis Gaming. These girls just, they're piling on.
They are, and you know, again, Wildfire needs to find a way to curtail the aggression of Oasis, just to be able to slow them down. Because Oasis are happy to take fights in mid. They're like, okay, we're going to walk to the mid. We're going to take a fight. We're going to win every single duel. And they do that. And same thing towards A. There really has to be a change of pace here, a new change of play. Because they are being read. And Wildfire Sphinx, they just haven't found the answers as to how to deal with those plays coming up from Anko towards that a main area, excuse me, and just haven't found it. Okay, Sereth, that's a good paint shell. It's gonna catch off Stan. Now they've actually gone and made a double opening towards that site. They still have to deal with Cannon Z here, who does get out of dodge, but there's a flank coming their way. They will secure the site though, so it's a little bit of a respite. It's a little bit of a safe haven they have found themselves here in Ascent towards that B site. The retake now commences. There's 2 big ultimates. They can use the Cosmic Divide and the Showstopper if they so elect to do, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case for now here. Scherzinger is able to get out of dodge. And oh, that was almost a big brain flank. Unfortunately, it does fall apart. Still at 2v2. That's going to be 1 all up to Muffin, but she has 1 HP. It's going to be an absolutely massive clutch. It's not going to happen though. That paint shell was hers, or was it Muffin's or Sarah's? Not sure.
I think paint shells. One was from Muffin in towards Boathouse, and Zareth was just waiting for the push around.
Sorry,
stairs.
I mean the blast pack.
Blast pack. Yeah,
Whose blast pack was that? Because I thought she was dead from it for a second there.
Maybe Muffin's.
Must have been hers. Yeah, must have been Muffin's.
Thought of maybe blast packing onto site, but regardless, I mean, this is when Wildfire Sphinx starts to come into their own. When they have these coordinated pushes, right? You start to see the lockdown, pushing in together as a team, finding the opening picks. They're able to weaken the site's defenses, and then they stream in. This is what they need. And right now, the B site might just be the answer once more. Look at where Cannon Z is positioned. She's the only one there. She does have her utility all over the place. Oh no, they're gonna get tagged out by Stan's Hunter's Fury.
And that's a lot of... Look at the HP, dude. Look at the HP. Declaration already at 70. Scherzinger 45. They get to heal Kiki. Luna's pretty low.
Ooh.
But...
Okay.
Okay, hold on. They're winning the duels. They've managed to find the awareness to take the challenge that they might be close up. And so... this actually buys them a pretty solid chance in this round. Super Polly playing this off angle here. Needs... oh, the timing! She still wins it, though! And the gravity well will allow her to find 2. Still, pressure mounting towards that A side. Kiki's looking to swing wide. Does get it. Is able to heal up. And actually does manage to break down that turret. They do have to recover the spike with 35 seconds left. It's in no man's land, so they have to make a decisive move. They have to go and push for it right now. And it might be the move they need because Kiki has just done it yet again. Another 4K from Kiki. And just breathing life into Wildfire Sphinx yet again. What on earth is this Reina, man? Kiki is just on fire today.
Kiki doing it again and again and again. Never pick another agent ever. Always go with the Reina. I don't know how she does it, but she makes it happen. All of these clutches. It was down to a 2v2. Oasis still had a chance, but she went in and found the shots. I mean, Stan was eyeing down that with the operator, just couldn't connect it somehow. And now, economy shattered on Oasis Gaming side. They have to go with a Guardian. They have to go with Shorties. They have to go with Marshals. And along with that, I mean, maybe they get some bits of information. Kiki does get tagged, but it's not the worst thing in the world. This is so much information for both sides right now. And with that opening pick, Wildfire Sphinx, they're thinking of rotating back. They have to watch out for mid right now, though, because look at your mini map. There are 2 players positioned in towards market.
Doing a pretty spot-on job at the moment. Just able to shut down the aggression for now, but Super Poly from the flank.
Oh, man.
Super Poly from the flank with a Guardian is able to yet again catch them off guard and muff him with a close range angle. Nice timing from Sereth right there. Misses the second spray.
Damage.
But still, it's Muffin on 11 HP. The spike has to be recovered, and yet again, it's Kiki.
It's Kiki.
All on her shoulders, the burden right now she bears to come up time and time again. Can she nail the timing? Can she nail the headshot? Because Muffin knows where she
30
is.
seconds left.
But Kiki has to search, has to find out where Muffin could be
She
playing
needs one
from.
bullet. Oh my god, the timing on this. Going back and then forth, and then Muffin goes in for the peek. Kiki actually nailing the headshot as well, just strafing all over the place, making herself a difficult target for Muffin to track, a difficult target to snap onto, in fact. So that is very well played. They were struggling a little. The eco was actually working out for Oasis, but look at the scoreline. WFX have made it all the way 4-7. If they take this 5-7, not too bad for the end of the first half.
That's a really, really good start here for the half, 7-4. And Wildfire should have had a couple more, sure. But I think if they can get this final round here onto 7-5, they're going to be relatively happy with that. Now, they will have a decent enough buy. And look at the ultimates right now. It's 3 ultimates on both of these squads here. So Declaration having that Hunter's Fury, very, very crucial, especially when Cannon Z has the lockdown available. But it's the decisive play on towards that B. Sereth, Showstopper, doesn't see him. And they both nail each other with the Showstopper. Look at you, but look at me. They both turn up big. And it was this isn't Quake. They take each other down though regardless, and Stan falls towards that backside. Still a 1v4, and in this topsy-turvy round, it's gonna be Wildfire to take a 7-5.
This isn't Quake. Somebody clip that. You know, this is why Valorant is so fun. This is why it's so lovely. Yeah,
Because you can play Quake in Valorant.
Exactly. Look at this.
Oh dear.
They both blast back. Rocket jumped onto the side, met each other. Oh
my god, that was
God.
a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty.
Rockets right beneath their feet. Smash. They trade that. That is one heck of an anime duel if I've ever seen one. Oh, dude.
7-5 though. This is very good for Wildfire. I mean, yeah, this is their map, but this is a very good turnout from them thus far. If they can keep things clean, and honestly, on the defensive side, it should be a little bit easier, because you will be expecting the offense from Oasis.
Deploying drone.
Yeah. Still though, Oasis, they're actually taking things a little bit slow. In fact, it's kind of something similar that you saw in the previous game. Look at where Anko's positioned. She's doing her thing. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad trying to find an opening pick up around A. think it gets denied though because of Scherzinga's dark cover. Now it's just a matter of time before they find more picks. Clara's going to get spotted out on the B site, but she should know that the hit is not on to B right now at the very least, as Kiki goes back in with the flank up around Gelato. She spots so many players out, tags Polly down to 19 HP, and immediately backs off to around Sabrosa's spot, but it's not going to be enough. She gets taken out. Scherzinga able to make it a trade, though. 4v4 right now, and Clara just wants to tag them down to Blitherines. They're still trying to push up, though. Stan actually able to push herself up towards the corner, gets tagged by the turret, and then Declaration falls. Just like that, the B site is now handed over towards Oasis Gaming.
30 seconds left. Last player
Nice
standing.
shot right there from Anko. Lands nicely onto the head of Luna. This is Scherzinga with 34 HP only. Definitely not a good look.
Uh-oh.
She's totally dead here. The moment that door breaks, they're gonna swing out. She reloads!
That is unfortunate. Yeah, they had a good read. They were trying to pull off the flank. They were actually able to tag them down, but going in for those aim duels, I mean, trying to duke it out around mid. Yeah, you want to cut people off that rotates, but you know, when they're staring down your barrel as well, you gotta be careful about it. And I think it cost a couple of players' lives. And when it came down to it, Scherzinga was the last one alive in a 1v3 situation with the door being shut in her face. That is almost unwinnable. Actually,
yeah,
not
the moment you
forced by.
try to shoot that door out, you're just gonna get snuffed out. I mean, your position is known, but I like the idea. I like the idea for the aggressive play. Again, this allows Wildfire Sphinx to challenge the economy here of Oasis, and they actually do. They manage to find a pickoff. They recover a gun onto Kiki, a Spectre onto Kiki. She has armor too, by the way. So this is very much scary. They're putting all the eggs in one basket. And that basket is Kiki. Okay. A little bit awkward of an exchange there towards the doorway, but still they managed to come out victorious. As the flank now coming for Scherzinga. She'll get spotted out by the turret. They smoke off that turret. Oh, they don't. Sorry, excuse me. I thought they would, but it's gonna be an awkward exchange as Kiki and Scherzinga, they drop now all in the hands of Declaration, but unfortunately, this can't happen. 9-5, Oasis find a 9th.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of that coordination that they kind of need. I mean, you could see the idea that they were going for. 3 players from 3 separate angles, 1 door, 1 A main, and 1 from heaven. Only thing is, they didn't quite have the shield or armor that they needed. At the same time, firepower, information was already given up to Oasis Gaming, and Kiki just... sometimes it's a little bit lack of coordination, right? They were going in 1 by 1. And when that happens, you just tend to drop like dominoes. So 5-9, Oasis Gaming right now riding this wave, but you do have Wildfire Sphinx in with the full buy. So nice little setup in towards B main. That could just stab off any sort of aggression that Oasis are trying to pull off. In fact, the rest of the squad, though, just trying to find something, but I don't like this. Muffin in towards deep mid. That could bite Declaration in the back.
Definitely here. And it's Kiki and Sarah, though, to open things up. Declaration, and they're all just dropping. What on earth just happened towards B side? Anko, as a marshal, she's going to get picked off right there.
Nice.
I just missed that completely towards B, but I do know for a fact, and trust me on this one, I don't have evidence, but I think they all died on B.
Yeah, I think they kind of... You see the red X's on your mini-map as well. It's... They kind of had a good
good
read.
science, good detective work there, Detective Quack.
Thank you. You know, sometimes you pop your Witcher senses and you're able to look at all these footsteps and whatnot. But in the game right now, it's just Wildfire Sphinx. On the defensive side, when they have the full buys, when they're feeling themselves, they're starting to read Oasis Gaming. They're starting to be a little bit more prepared about where they could be positioned. And playing this, you know, slowly, steadily, with a tactical advantage, it kind of gives you that edge that you need. Right now, Oasis Gaming, with the full buys, they want to make this round count, so they're taking it slow and steady as well. Look at what Anko is doing. She's just holding the angle, waiting for someone to push out a B main, but Wildfire Sphinx, they're holding their ground as well.
A couple of pop shots right there from Muffin as now we are coming to a crescendo here in this half. in this game. Oasis, they lead by 3. It's a good margin. But up against Wildfire, who seems like they are blossoming embers right now, it's looking like a little bit concerning for Oasis. They have gotten a lot of map control here, Oasis, so they have managed to find some respite here. And oh no, Scherzinger, she's dead to rights here. Dead in the water right there after a great nade from Muffin. Lands beautifully at her feet. Now it's going to be the side taken fully here by Oasis. They have not checked Luna. Luna swings, but unfortunately is unable to get a kill right there. Stan is able to pick up that kill. Still a 3v4, and that's another kill. Kiki going down here, looking like double digits for Oasis at the moment as they do make that full rotation. They're not going to commit onto A. In fact, they're going to go all the way towards B. But look at this lurk here. Anko, all the way from heaven, could just put a lid in this round right now.
Wait.
In fact,
One enemy remaining.
wait, she's waiting for... Oh, no,
Is there just...
Anko.
Oh. Someone got knifed. Someone got knifed.
Yeah, Anko just knifed, like, straight up, walked, and just defenestrated her, just yeeted her out of that site.
It wasn't caught in the first person camp, but yeah, go knifed.
Like, he saw it coming. I was
Oh
just
my.
staring at the mini-map the whole time. Is it coming? Is this what I think it is? Yeah, that's it.
Unlucky. Well, 10-6 right now. You said it, double digits, and Oasis Gaming have this under lock and key. Wildfire Sphinx back on the eco. I mean, they can make it painful, but I don't see them winning the round. As soon as I say that, though, Xerath is going to prove me wrong. She finds an opening headshot in towards mid.
It's a good paint shell. Does quite a bit of damage. Not as much as we thought it would, but still able to find some Luna. They're making these pistols work. And what?
What is going on?
Give me B-side, please. I just don't know what on earth is happening. Oh, okay, finally, a little bit of balance in the universe. 3v2 still, though. And Xerath is just doing it. A good paint shell. Oh, my God. She's got it. She's got it. Oh, my God. With the paint shell, Xerath is able to yet again find another 4K. And they have just taken a round which they had no business stealing away from Oasis.
I have no words. I'm actually speechless. I'm dumbfounded. What on earth did Xerath just pull off there? She had nothing but a Marshall. This is perfect investment advice. You buy low with the Marshall, 950, and then you come up with the win. Right now, you have a prime Vandal in your hands. This is amazing.
That's an investment. That's some buy low, sell high kind of stuff that we just saw. Big brain stonks coming up right here from Wildfire. They're going to go towards that A side. That showstopper should lead the charge here. Followed up by that lockdown coming up right in. Nobody to receive them on the A side. There's no welcoming committee this time around as they managed to find themselves securely within it. But can they hold? Their post plans haven't exactly been the most convincing so far. And Oasis, they're very good at these retakes. They might just catch them off in transition right now. However, this flank from Scherzinger could be absolutely crucial. Oh no! Wait!
Still. They're coming on this side. They're playing a post plant. They're trying to play around A main instead. Luna's able to take Cannon Z away. They're trying to secure this site. They gotta kind of worry about guarding because Polly has just rerouted herself all the way back around. They're trying to deal with Anko. We do have the Hunter's Fury coming in from Stan. Declarations to the last one left alive. She tries to spray, but will not be able to connect onto the Astra player. It's going to be 11-7, Elu. It's okay. Anko got close towards the end as well.
They're just stealing these rounds, man. They're just stealing these rounds, and I don't know.
This is so weird. You got thrifty wins around they had no business winning, and then now Oasis just when they have the Spectres as well, just prime positioning. I mean, you watched how Stan was holding it. They just went onto site. Xerath even popped her showstopper, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Not the day of destiny for that showstopper. And still, the weaponry is going to be quite decent. Xerath is going to be on the operator. This could be a turning point. This could be a pivot for the round here for Wildfire. They have yet again left this. I think they should go and pick up that spike before they do anything else, honestly.
Oh my
Looks
god.
like they have it in check, though, as Anko will be trying to make a little bit of a show of force here towards mid. Declaration is good to hold that short area. They have found their way onto A, though. And so it still could be a pretty good chance for Oasis, as they even lose one member. Kiki dropping her down pretty low. Anko is going to go down.
No.
Still manages to win that duel.
Incredibly well-timed Lear, and right now Shazinga trying to put a stop to this. Gets taken out though, but here comes Anko. She's doing all the damage necessary, but Xerath holding the angle makes it an even 2v2. Goes in, picks up the Vandal right now. And Polly's positioning is the one that kind of worries me. The Cosmic Divide definitely biting them in the back as well. Nano Swarms and Alarm Bots. They're trying to make a play fully from heaven, and I don't know if that's the best option. As soon as they drop down, Candace gonna connect onto this, gets the first one, and then connects onto the second. Right now, 12-7, match point.
Match point.
And I don't know how Wildfire Sphinx's economy looks.
It's not looking good. That's what I'm going to tell you for sure. Wildfire, they have enough. I'd say they have a decent amount. Unfortunately, Kiki's just not going to have enough. Look at this. She only has half armor and a Spectre. Definitely not what you want, especially up against Oasis, who has everything. The Operator just not paying off for them. And Oasis, they're looking primed and ready to take this into a 2-0 victory. Xerath, aggressive swing out. No punish right now. The backup is coming. Oh, and that's a little bit of a miss on the paint shell. That should have been on top of that gravity well. That could have been a kill, but instead, Shazinga caught looking down as she was looking for that boom bot. Not expecting to swing right behind it because Muffin's right there to close out that B-side presence here. This does leave Luna here towards the back. Declaration finding yet again another tap towards mid, but Luna has to come up big here. Here's the footsteps close, and she's gonna actually take nothing. Still a 1v3 as Declaration, the only person left here to contest against Oasis.
Come on. Show us some new turn Lakia techniques. Unfortunately, they just danced and dodged every single beam from that Hunter's Fury. And along with that, they managed to get the spike planted. So right now, 1v3. What's the win condition here, Ilu?
There they are.
She has to get a pick in the next 5 seconds if she wants a chance here. It has to be on that, either on the B main player or at least somebody within the next 5 seconds. Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot. And with this position, I just don't think it's possible. She will be trying to creep her way on towards this lane, but they will be collapsing on her position right now. And yeah, that's just going to be it here. Stan's going to go down. I mean, Stan's going to get Declaration, rather. It was a good effort, but Oasis yet again will find another 2-0. Very confident, very defiant win from Oasis Gaming. And they look to go up in the lower bracket final.
Just absolutely said it right there. The word is defiant. When you think that Wildfire Sphinx are starting to come back, you know, they ended the first half 5-7. Not the worst thing in the world. They had rounds where they walked away with, you know, completely nonsensical wins with nothing but pistols, marshals. Somehow, Oasis Gaming just grouped themselves back. They recalibrated, just re-energized themselves, and they completely pummel Wildfire Sphinx to dust and smithereens. Unfortunately, it's incredibly strong what they've got. You see the teamwork, you see the difference in terms of coordination in these two teams, and that is why Oasis Gaming are walking away with the win.
Yeah, there is going to be more games coming up later on today. We still have the Galaxy Racer game coming up next against Celeste up in the upper bracket. It's going to be a tough one for sure. And whoever loses that game is going to be going against Oasis. So we could potentially be seeing a rematch of Galaxy Racer Oasis, which did go the extra mile. It did go the distance with an overtime last time. So that's something I'm potentially looking forward to, unless Alter Ego come up with a very big upset and maybe take out Celeste.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. But we'll figure that out once we return from this break. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to go and take a little bit of a breather and sort of stabilize because what a game we just saw. Great work from Wildfire Sphinx. Unfortunately, that's going to be them bowing out of the tournament. Right now, this is the lower bracket. They have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of and everything to be proud of because they have just grown so much over the course of the past few days in the course of this tournament. So we'll find out the results and basically the statistics of everything that went down when we return from this. So don't go anywhere.